Hi everyone, welcome to another video. This is Srujan from Tasty Tech Harbor. In this video, I'll be unboxing and showing you how you get started with PC oscilloscope from HANTEK. You will also get to know about the basics of oscilloscope, why, where they are used, and also some information on the usage of software for analysis of the signals. So let's get started. This is 6022BE USB oscilloscope, has a bandwidth of 20 MHz and a sample rate of 48 megasamples per second. And this has two channels. And I feel this is a very cost-effective one to start with, and also it has a lot of mathematical functions like addition, subtraction of waveforms, etc. And also the waveform can be saved in different formats like Excel, Word, and JPEG, etc. So opening the box, we get the device inside an anti-static charge cover, which protects the device from any static charge damages. So they've also put some silica gel inside the static charge cover because the silica gel has a tendency to absorb and hold the water vapor, and in electronic it prevents a condensation which might damage the electronics. So opening the pouch, which has the probe inside it, and also it has the probe accessories, and it also comes with a manual which is only for probe and its calibration. So here we have the USB cable. So in this USB cable you can see red and black USB-A type. So red is the power cable which powers the device, and the black one is for the data transfer to the computer, and the other side you can see it's a USB-B type connector which connects to the device. So coming into the lower compartment, opening the lower compartment, we have another set of probe in a pouch. So it is the same set of pouch as the previous one, which has the same content as the probe and its accessories. And in this, we also get a CD, the CD which contains the driver, the HANTEK software. And if at all you don't have a CD drive, you can scan the QR code on the box, so it will direct you to the software online. So here you can see on the left side of the cable which I was holding is a ground cable which you connect to the ground, and the top one, the other port, is the hook that is also called as a hook tip. And here you can see a slide switch which is actually very important for the attenuation, set the attenuation ratio, that is 1x and 10x. You have two options, and this has a bandwidth. The probe has a bandwidth of somewhere around 80 megahertz. So you might be wondering that why do we need an oscilloscope? So sometimes when we are debugging a circuit, we would be requiring something more information than what we get on a simple multimeter. So some parameters like the frequency, noise, amplitude, and the other characteristics of that signal, and that might change over time. So that is when you need an oscilloscope. This is a very important tool in an electronics or an electrical engineer's lab. Coming into the ports, here you can see the channel 1, channel 2. These are the two ports where you can connect the BNC connectors, and that is a square wave signal generator of 1 kilohertz up to 2 volts, and this is for the calibration of the probes. So on the other side we can see a USB B type connector which connects to the PC, and so this is the mode of the signal transfer, and also this is the power cable for it, and the other port is for the extension for if you want to connect the external devices from HANTEK. So coming into the accessories, what we got with the probe, here you have a screwdriver which is used to calibrate the probe. Usually we have a square wave reference, the signal generator on the oscilloscopes, which is used to actually calibrate the probes. So here we have during the calibration you have to set the attenuation ratio to 10x. As you can see, we have a slide switch as I told you before, and you also have a hook tip which can be detached, and you can place some other kind of sleeves which is required for you. In my case, I will start using the hook tip initially, and also you get the marker rings which is used to, you can change those marker ring on the probes for identification. So now we have understood the every component what we have got with the device, and now it's time to connect it to the laptop. So here we have the two USB cable. As I told you, the red one is the power which powers the HANTEK device, and the other one is for the data. So I'm just connecting that to the laptop. So once we have connected those USB cables, now we should be able to see a red light next to the channels. Yes, the red light is blinking. That means it is powered and it has no connection with the laptop. That means it has no connection with the software which is installed in it. So now when I open the software, I should be able to see a green light blinking. So that means we have the complete connection between the device and the software. So now it's time to connect the probe to the HANTEK device. So here we have the BNC connector. So you can connect to the any channel and you can select the channel in the software to which you have connected. And so now I'm setting it to the 10x the attenuation ratio, and now I'll be connecting the BNC connector to the channel 1 port. Yeah, so once I've connected the BNC connector, it is time to connect the other side, the hook tip which I told you, to the signal generator, that is the square wave signal generator, and the other one, the other crocodile clip to the ground port on the other side, on the right pin. So this is the signal generator which is generating a square waveform, and this is the one which you have to connect it to the ground. So once you have connected, you will be able to see a square waveform on the display. Yeah, so now you are able to see a square waveform. So seeing this square waveform, I feel that the probes are already calibrated because the top and the bottom lines are almost flat. So but still I'll be showing you guys how you can calibrate the probes. So you have to take the screwdriver which was given with a probe accessories, and you have a screw which you can see here. It is a kind of potentiometer. So you just have to rotate it clockwise or anti-clockwise, seeing the waveform. Yeah, so before you start with the tuning, the calibration of the probes, you will have to select the 10x on the channel 1 in the vertical section, and then you can just click on the auto button, so it will set all the values, and then you can set the peak voltage to 2 volts. Yeah, so when you want to zoom or you want to change the time per division value, so that is you can zoom in the waveform. So you just have to use the blue knob in the horizontal section, you can see, which you can see. So once all the values are set, now you can start going into the tuning, the calibration of the probe. So you can use a screwdriver and the screw. You can just start rotating the screw. You can see on the screen the variation of the square waveform. So you should always make sure that you have a very linear lines on the top and bottom. So now I'm just trying to adjust the screw. You can see I'm trying to make it flat. Yeah, now it's almost flat. Yeah, yeah, so it's almost flat now. Yes, so this is the right way of calibrating. So now let's start with the learning of the tool. So now you can just click and hold the waveform and move left and right with the mouse, and so the waveform moves left and right. And also, as I showed you before, that you can change the time per division value using the blue knob on the horizontal section. Yeah, so as I told you, that blue knob is for the change of the time per division, and coming into the vertical section you can change the volts, and you can select the channel what you're using, and you can change the attenuation ratio also. And coming into the trigger section, you have a trigger mode, triggered sweep, triggered slows, and triggered slope as well. So I'll be giving you more technical about all these menus and options in this tool in another video. Yeah, for now we'll be just exploring about all the options we have in the menu and the toolbar, and I'll also be introducing you about how you can use the measuring tools. So when you click on the view and when you click on the measuring option, that is a measuring window, so you'll be able to see the different parameters what you want to measure in the signal. So when you click on all, measure all the signals, and you open the output window, and you'll be able to see the frequency, the fall time, rise time, period, amplitude, and a lot of parameters about the signal. So when you go to the horizontal option in the menu, so you will be able to see whatever you saw on the right side, which I explained you before. These are the same options what you see, and the same option applies to the vertical in the menu options and a trigger in the menu option. When you click on display and type to dots, so this is how you see the waveform. Yeah, so we'll put it back to the vector form now, as usual. Yeah, so now let's see the other options, the grid. So it is like you, if you want to hide the grid, you can hide the grid behind also. And when you come to the intensity, you can change the brightness of the waveform and as well as the grid. As you can see now, I'm changing the waveform and now I'm changing the grid. Sorry, yeah, I should first switch on the grid option. Yeah, then go to intensity. Yeah, so now you'll be able to change the intensity, the brightness of the grid as well. So there are many more options on the cursor and utilities. I'll be explaining in depth about all these options in the next video, like interpolations and etc. So another basic thing which I have to explain you guys is about the measuring of the signal. So now you can see the run option and the pause option. So you can pause the signal at that point and you can measure the different characteristics of the waveform. So now coming into the horizontal waveform, you can just click on the from the point where you want to measure it, and then you can click and drag the line till where you want to measure horizontally all the parameters in between it. So I'm just clicking and dragging it. Now you can see the voltage, that is the height. So the maximum voltage is like 2.0 volts, 04 volts. So now coming into the vertical parameters, so you can just again click on a point from where you want to start the measuring and then click and drag to the end of the point where you want to stop the measuring. So in between that point it measures the time at till what is the time in between that, and also the frequency it is also showing us. So now coming into the cross the cursor, so you can click on the top point and one point, and you can click on the other point till where you want to measure, and it'll give you the entire details, that is the time, frequency and also the voltage, that is a horizontal and the vertical parameters. So you have all the options what you saw in the menu option in the toolbar, that you can see here. I'm just showing you. So you have the dot option, intensity option, and also you can change the vector back to vector. And now if you want to do some math calculations, you have a options wherein you can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and also Fourier transform, FFT. So this is all about the basics of the tool. So basically this oscilloscope is useful, for example, in diagnosing why your 555 timer circuit isn't blinking and why the noise maker is not reaching its maximum levels, etc. And thank you guys for watching this video on getting started and basics of USB oscilloscope. I'm gonna post new videos every week. If this video was helpful, share this video, let your friends know about it and help them too. If you want me to cover any concepts or explain anything in detail, please let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.